What?
I love how she looked at us. Talking about that shit. Why is it? Look at your throat. Kill yourself. There's people like you who fucking made America like this.
About it. Specifically today, I'm out here to protest the National Defense Authorization Act, signed into law by which people can be taken into custody by the military. The entire nation's been declared a battlefield. The whole world's a battlefield now, and we're in process.
So you come out here today kind of to share your voice and hope that maybe somebody, whether it's the president or someone else, kind of hears your message, sees your message.
Right. I think there's a lot of like-minded people out there. I think that, people just don't know what to do. They, kind of feel isolated, and if there's any possibility of people recognizing that there's other people that feel the way they do, I think that we can begin to come out with some kind of numbers.
And you mentioned the NDAA. What else is bothering you? What else are you worried about?
Well, just overall, corporate control of our political process. We feel that we're not represented in our government anymore. We feel that big money has corrupted the political process to the point where, the politicians that get elected might be decent individuals on a personal level, but the process itself and the framework in which they operate is so corrupt that they can't get anything effective. They look for human interests.
And what kind of got you or made the decision to come out here today?
Well, basically it's been a long process for me. I'm a writer and a poet, and during the day, at night I wait tables, but, it's been something I've been concerned about for a long time, the sort of undermining of our ideals and, the basic freedoms that were granted to us and chipped away out over time. And, my work, I've been addressing that for a long time. I think there's some people who are actually taking some sort of physical action. I'm encouraged by that.
I know you mentioned you're sort of where the country's going, so I'm assuming not a supporter of President Obama.
Well, I'm not a supporter of corporate personhood. I'm not a supporter of anyone who winds up, the only way a person can get elected to an office of any significance in this nation is to have corporate financing in the campaign. And as I said, as an individual, he might be a decent guy. I know his actions, as president have indicated that, the appointments that he's made to the, to his cabinet, to the government, to the people in places of power indicate that, the revolving door between Wall Street and, so-called public services never split that.
Anything else you want to add that I didn't ask you?
That'll probably about do it for now.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just hitting the record button because my thumb's gone. Alright, we're good.
All right, so say and spell your first and last name for me.
Robert Crozier.
How do you spell it?
C-R-O-Z-I-E-R.
Where are you from?
I'm from Monona, Northeast Iowa.
All right. So what are you doing here today?
Well, we came out here, they kind of changed the last minute, but our intent was to come out here and to demonstrate and let it be known that we are not pleased with the signing of the National Defense Authorization Act. So that's why we're here.
And explain that for people who might not know.
Yeah, the National Defense Authorization Act is a bill that passes every 2 years because it has to, because it reauthorizes the continuation of spending money for the military to exist, because constitutionally the spending bill can't indefinitely fund the military. So it's a must-pass bill. And they can put addendums and things in it, which is what happened this year. So the NDAA that passes every 2 years in of itself isn't evil, but this most recent one had a provision in it that allowed for someone who is involved with Al-Qaeda or associated groups, suspected involvement, to be detained indefinitely. And it doesn't make any kind of protection for anyone who is an American citizen or here in the United States itself. So if it's just so vague, because what is a related group? anything could be a religious group. If you construe it against, there's the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Maybe there's the 7 degrees of Al Qaeda. We don't know. And I think what really is the problem here is the suspension of due process. Whereas if you're suspected of being associated with the terrorists, you can be detained indefinitely without habeas corpus. You don't get your day in court. Just gone. It's gone. And whereas how it should be, if someone makes war against their own country, they should be accused of treason and tried for treason, and they get to defend themselves. That's how it works.
And so kind of tell me what you were talking about earlier about this whole issue bringing people from all sorts of spectrum together.
Well, as of right now, I think what's happening here is, because I'm a Tea Partier, I'm very conservative. I'm a Ron Paul supporter, very much so, and I am here. I've always been on sort of the conservative side of the conservative group of people, and I've always been there. And here I am in opposition to this with people like David Morgan, who are, he's an Occupy supporter. And we can come together on this issue and other issues, the anti-war issues, the and all in that.
You can find it's on tape. You can start over if you need to.
I don't know if we'll talk later. All right. With that, in all reality though, money isn't speech, and corporations aren't people. And they want to say that it's a legal fiction, and I'm very, very suspicious of that, because people are people, groups aren't people. It's sort of one of the fundamentals of liberty is that if you put people in the group,
it's easier to take away a group's rights. Whereas if individuals are individuals and everyone has rights, then everyone has liberty. So I think that we could come together on that. But mostly I'm here because of the National Defense Authorization Act. And I'm here because we need to get out of these ridiculous wars, and I'm here because of the increased surrendering of the United States sovereignty to international bodies is happening, and it's continuing to happen, and it will continue to happen.
So you're hoping today that maybe the president's, whether he's leaving or coming out, that maybe they'll kind of get to see or hear your message?
Well, I think we kind of got a 50-50 shot because they're not letting us up there past that cop car, so it really depends on whether he turns left or if he turns right. So I'm really hopeful that if there's more people who, on the other side of that hill, maybe they'll turn left, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a long shot for sure, and I don't know if he'd care anyway.
Are you hoping more people kind of come out to help support you guys and what you guys have to say?
You know, it was real smart of them to announce the location at the last possible minute and make it in the middle of a workday, because people have jobs, and everyone can't get away at noon o'clock on a Wednesday. So I don't know if that's gonna happen.
But the 4 of you are here and spreading your message, and that's important, right?
I think so.
Anything else you want to add that I didn't ask you?
Nope.
All right, thanks.
I don't know if you wanted to hear that.
Gave you right back in the squad car.
that's nice.
Oh, better make it walk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right? On the bright side.
Or an old part.
Put on all 3 sets.
We got that. How much longer are you going to be in there?
We don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Where are you going to be at?
Right over here.
There?
Or I can be on this direction.
He is starting to freeze up, so. That's part about being in the news. That's right.
Where are you from? So what are you doing here today?
Oh, I watered the worried about my future. I'm not going to be around that many more years, but my kids are. And this man is, in my 63 years, has got to be the president that I can be. I mean, I thought Jimmy Carter was bad, and this man needs Jimmy Carter.
Are you frustrated this is a private event?
You know, there's a lot of things that frustrate me. You know, I'm sure right now he's out here. This is a campaign.
I'll be back.
Is his money paying for that, or are the taxpayers paying for it? City of Cedar Rapids, how many police got around here? Who's paying for that? It's not him.
We can't survive that.
This guy needs to wake up.
These people out here kind of upset about the NDAA. Something you agree with or disagree with?
I can agree with him on some of that, yeah. But I'd say he just needs to quit spending money and become president. He's talking about cutting the military. He's messing around, putting his hands out. He runs around the world apologizing for America. This is the greatest country in the world, and he's apologizing for it. SEAL Team 6 just rescued people in Somalia. You know, sure, he signed off on it. Do you think that was any coincidence that that was done? I don't say it's weird. I'm sure there's politics behind it. That's the way this man operates.
So how long are you just gonna hang out and wait and see if you get back in, or you?
I don't know. I'm thinking that we ain't gonna get. I say I got up there that far once, and say they turned me around and basically gave me a ride back down to my truck in the Cedar Rapids squad. So I guess I ain't gonna ask him any questions. You know, so I'm getting my point out now. I'm Channel 9 News. I see your ABC. I just hope it goes national. And there's my wife.
Thank you.
All right.
1, 2, perfect, right there, that works for me. If you can stand still for me, that'd be great. And you're going to be looking at my reporter. Yeah. Alright. You're all set, let me hit the record button.
Hold on.
Alright, I'll try it.
Okay, so say spell your first last name for me.
I'm Holly Berkowitz,
How do you spell it?
HOLLYBERKOWITZ,
And where are you from?
Iowa City, Iowa.
And what are you doing here today?
I'm a volunteer producer for public access television, and the Press Citizen said that it started at noon, and I had ID with me for PATV, but I guess you have to be signed up, which is standard, so I understand that. I will take action next time. But I would like to give a rebuttal. I voted for Obama in 2008 because of the war crimes of the Bush administration, and I think that America really needs to prove to the world that we are a civil nation, that we're not criminals. And the ruling on the Haditha case was pretty upsetting. I hope someone follows through with that to incriminate the people who have hurt so many people. It's obvious that the World Trade Center fell in.
Wife said he's done.
It fell in an implosion, which means that it was detonated, which has great implications for the previous administration. And I'd like to see some prosecution for that.
And so there's people here kind of mentioned opposition to the NDAA. Do you have any feelings on that, or agree with them, or?
Well, I think that we do need a strong defense, but our country it's the strongest in the world, and we need to put our dollars into the real economy, which is the green economy. The solar and wind energy and other renewables are capable of producing a solid, straight line energy output. And we need to invest in those kinds of energies and get ourselves off of the oil, which the Bush administration.
What do we got going on here?
The Republicans seem to be driven by oil and private cash accounts. And Obama is valued more than that. He understands you have to value the invaluable for our nation to survive. So, thank you.
I think we should be held.